Hey guys, I'm Keerath. This is my wife Jyotshna.
And we are here at YVR Café, Kharghar.
Guys, here at YVR, we're basically a themed cafe and our theme is biophilia. Now, biophilia and biophilic design basically means to incorporate the outside world inside spaces. So even if that's like a cafe, for example, we have plants all around. We have nature-inspired things such as a running waterfall. And when we're not playing any music, it mimics the sound of people actually walking in nature, where they hear just water trickling and falling down from a fall. Then we also engage all the senses by having freshly roasted coffee beans. So when people come in, they're greeted by that, food. And the reason we went with biophilia, because we realized that through the years, people's stress levels were just increasingly rising, whether they were working or whether they were not working. So we thought that how about we curate a space where people are sitting, and a way to get them engaged in their meal was to surround them with elements that reduce their stress. So which is why biophilic elements came into the forefront. And I just saw quite a bit spaces in Vancouver designed under the same theme. And with that, I just thought, okay, it's a really nice way to live. Because offices and canteens in the 90s just had whitewashed walls. Yeah, and even in homes these days, our parents or ourselves, we put plants around us. Yeah, because we want to be closer to nature and earth. So we thought of just bringing all of those elements inside and separating our cafe. The other reason to go with biophilia was we realized that the cafe should inhibit the design of the neighborhood it is situated in. So, like our neighborhood, Sector 23 here, we're right bang opposite to Central Park. So we realized that, okay, this is a very big park. It's one of Asia's biggest. And if we're surrounding a park, then we should go with the same park elements. So when people take a walk outside, strolling, they come in, they don't feel there's a boundary between the cafe or the park. They feel like it's a seamless extension of both. So when I was in Vancouver, what I noticed was that Vancouver as a space is very diverse. By that I mean is there's so many communities coming and living there that they don't have their own food. It's a fusion of different places. Like Americans live there, Europeans, a lot of Indians, a lot of people from the north. So all their food showcases unity for all, and which is why they have a mix and match of flavors. So my time over there, I spent it in learning about food, eating really clean. So when I came on back, I was like, okay, we're gonna go with what is hyper-local to the area, as well as bring in signature healthy and conscious food items from Vancouver, which was our wood fire pizzas, which was our smoothies that we have, because we realized that mostly they're a mixture of just fruits and carbs. There's a protein element that's missing. So even in our salad and wellness bowls, we have a layer of carbs below, some veggies and fiber on the side, protein on top, and to make sure that whatever sauces or salsa we make, just to have as less sugar or cream as possible. So we're in the process of just evolving with the community and just the Kharghar area at large. Because usually sports teams in the Northern America, they have mascots, right? NBA and these guys, they have mascots, and they, pre-ball, they play games and their mascots come and do some dunks and whatnot. So same way, we decided basically that our cafe was not just about biophilia. Our logo also encompassed the very same thing. So there's a lot of similarities geographically between Kharghar and Vancouver, where both places have hills and valleys. Both are coastal. Both have a lot of different people from a lot of different classes coming and staying in there. From students to working professionals to outright families and hipsters. So this diverse backdrop also makes Kharghar a similar spot like Vancouver, where people are moving from tier 2 cities to come here because they can't go to Bombay because of lack of space. And then now families coming in here, a lot of students and whatnot. So in aspect of that, we realized, okay, if we have a connection with Kharghar and Vancouver, what else is Kharghar known for? So we realized apart from the hills and valleys, there's also flamingos, which are these nice, beautiful animals in pink, and they're really, really pretty looking. And we realized that a lot of the waterfalls here during the monsoons and pre-monsoons, they're filled with flamingos in the morning. So they come there, they fly away, it makes a very picturesque thing to look at it. And then we just realized, let's make some fun-esque boards with the flamingos chilling in different spots in the cafe. So we mixed the flamingo with like the location nearby, which is Central Park. ISKCON Mandir, the golf course. So we realized, okay, we'll have a flamingo sitting and just chilling with a cup of coffee in a golf course, or he's gonna be out right next to Utsav Chowk delivering a food order. So just making all the elements real and making sure they're all tied in within a particular story. Oh, this is tremendous. It's like in every aspect. So I had a lot of help from my family, my wife, my parents and whatnot. So it was things from a layout point of view. How will people enter? Where will they enter from? Seating capacity, then kitchen size, amenities for washroom, ventilation, hygiene, hard to reach spots. Then beyond that, it went to just keep on doing food trials. Figure out that what is the palette of the neighborhood around the cafe. So we thought that, okay, fine, since we're in the upscale neighborhood of Kharghar, we should have a menu that is diverse, rich, but also honest. Honest in terms of because we did not like adding any food coloring or preservatives or ajinomoto into anything that we make. So even with natural colors or textures, we get it from the ingredients themselves. So we had our values aligned properly, where we thought if we're doing food, we should do it healthy and right.
So as we discussed, the theme of this restaurant, of the cafe, is like a biophilic design. So my challenges were, because I'm not from the hospitality segment, I'm mostly from the residential segment, as I said before. And when he came to me and he was like, I want the cafe to be having a biophilic theme. So I remember and I didn't know what it was. I was completely blank. So I didn't share some ideas. So he sent me a podcast of 45 minutes where I was like, okay, let me understand what it is, And I was traveling to Jaipur at that time, and I plugged it in and I was like, okay, he wants, these are the elements, it has to be earthy, it has to have plants, it has to have elements like water and everything. So when I started designing it, it was firstly my main challenge was space planning, because you don't know, like the kitchen planning was there, and the space planning, the counter that is the main barista counter that is there, the dimensions if we go wrong, or if more things come up in future. So that was like the main criteria for me, like as an interior designer. So I usually, for me, design is only about 3 or 4 elements in one specific space or in an area given. Even if it's like a 2,000 square feet, I will only go in for a two or 3 elements maximum. I don't like to overcrowd things and make it like a khichdi, So it has to look elegant, it has to look subtle to the customer, pleasing. So the tones of the cafe, if you guys see it, it's very, the laminate that I've used is quite pine wood in color. It's quite earthy, which you can again connect with nature. And I've used a beautiful counter. On the counter, there's a wallpaper which depicts the flora fauna again. And the main wall, why I kept that as a show wall, so that when people walk in from the main gate, that wall has to look beautiful. Like it has to have that curiosity, that what is it? Like giving that, okay, now we can go and click a picture over there, So I had that in my mind. Then when we expanded it to the outer space, like the outside, to the facade area, I remember my dad, Keerath's father, he came up to me and he's like, we want to create a selfie wall. So if you see that area over there, it was like I didn't know what to do. Like selfie, how do I incorporate a selfie thing? So again, I had to create something that he is more fond of, like it's called books. Okay, so I wanted to create a reading nook over there. So a reading nook is something that you can slide down and you can read a book, and and have it like so it looks nice. You can chill over there, you can click pictures, and yeah, that's it. Like that's all. And then when we expanded the cafe. This Feb we started it. Yeah, Feb or March we expanded this zone. Because we were getting a lot of we were quite known now in the vicinity. So we were shortage of space, and we wanted to keep like a party theme kind. Like, we were hosting a lot of parties also. We were getting orders for that as well. So coming to this zone again, I had to get the biophilia theme into this specific area, which was quite small as compared to that. So if you look around, I've kept the one wall completely clean and just with some wooden elements and tables over there which are retractable, so that when we host a party, so the tables go down and people are comfortable to sit and everything. And on this side of the zone, I had to play with human emotions like love, whatever, food, personalities, everything, because we are also an equal part of nature. We are not an equal, we are the most important part of nature.
That's true.
That's
true, yeah.
Because our emotions, if are not in control, nothing is in control. We destroy even nature. Yeah. So we have to be like, so humans are very important in
the ecosystem, because we're a part of the nature outside. Yeah. Even if you go outside, people are there. Even if you're there inside,
and
people are there.
I remember we went for a honeymoon, and that's the time when I told him that we are the most important part of our nature. And we were walking up some hill or something, and we were like, I was like, I want to have these human emotions everywhere.
Within the cafe.
We couldn't do that in the first time, because obviously we had to take care of budget, everything. But when we came the second time, I didn't know we would expand so fast, but God's kind to us. And then I was like, okay, now I can play it around here at least. So yeah, it is just like whatever I could do, I did my best. That's it.
In terms of the food, what we did was we just took a look at how the Kharghar people were eating since quite a bit, and we realized that most of their staples, even from cafes, are bread, dairy, cheese-based, where people enjoy pizzas of cheese or pastas with Parmesan cheese on top. And then we realized that they like burgers and sandwiches and bagels. So when we were designing the menu, we wanted to have feel-good food. So feel-good food is just like food that just makes you happy when you're going. So which is traditionally a lot of American food as well, right? Because ever since we've been children and we've grown up, the only thing we've been inspired by as children was McDonald's. We all knew McDonald's. So we all had this thing in our mind that McDonald's means burgers, sliders, coffees and Happy Meals and whatnot. And we didn't walk away from McDonald's thinking, oh, this particular burger is amazing. We walked away saying, we had fun when we were there. Okay. Like everything was nice. We got a toy, the underweight, we had the Happy Meal. So when we were designing the menu, we did the same thing. Okay, let's keep a few staples that are already local to the area in Kharghar, and slowly let's add things that people would appreciate with times changing and moving forward. So we thought that, okay, fine, when there are so many students coming in here, they're very health conscious. They're also very pocket friendly. Yeah, because, well, they're not working, so they don't have that much money. So we realized, okay, how about we give them things that are healthy and tasty and pocket friendly. So we made sure to have smoothies in that section, some salads, and mostly we focused heavily upon our pizzas. Why? Because we actually have a brick fire wood oven. So we don't make our pizzas in commercial ovens. We use that, and we have our own sauces. The similarity here between Vancouver and Kharghar was that we noticed the Indian palate deals with a lot of chatpata foods, which is a lot of tanginess, a lot of spiciness. So we made sure that when we would start off with our Neapolitan pizzas, we would have them based upon the Indian palate, and then branch out slowly and tell people, okay, if you like a tikka-based paneer or a chicken pizza, how about you try something which is completely veggie-based? So we have opened up with that as a core menu now, and slowly we're differentiating with healthy items around. Because being a Punjabi, for me, it's like people get happy from here. So if you provide them good quality food, like if you're saying broccoli should be fresh, right? Or meat. Or take paneer for example. There's so many vices with paneer now. People are saying it's analog paneer and fake paneer and dye paneer. And that's what we're consuming. So even when we have paneer-based dishes here, like in our bao or in our pizzas, we make sure to use authentic malai paneer only. We're like, because it's going into someone's stomach, which connects to the other point of we don't use any additives or food coloring. So the food should be clean, it should be healthy and it should be wholesome. Atithi Devo Bhava, guys. Yeah, that's what it is. So in terms of food, I'd say something that I'm really fond of is the pizzas. Simply because they're like one food item in the entire Italian menu which can be shared with people. Like anytime people are having bows or pastas, right? You can't just like dig in with a fork and have. But if suppose there's like 2 pizzas on the table, that's something that I think a group of 8 to 10 people can enjoy, and they can have their stomachs full too. So our pizzas are really good because, like I said, we use 00 pizza flour. It's made from scratch. So we ferment the recipe, the dough balls, we put them in pizza trays, we remove them after a time of say 10 to 24 hours, we let them settle. Then when an order comes in, we prep them, adding yeast onto them, we put them in the oven, we put a fresh sauce on board, then we put fresh toppings marinated in different styles, whether it's tikka or it's kung pao, or it's a Mexican tangy sauce. And then we put it all together, we bake it in like a minute and a half, and then we put it onto the table. So our pizzas are quite liked both in the vegetarian category as well as non-veg. Now when it comes to drinks, my personal favorite is this one. This is one smoothie that I think I must have had like at least 1,000 avocados, and I'm not even kidding about it, because this for me just reminds me of how I used to eat back in Vancouver. So when I was busy with work or just like chores, for me it was a simple thing of okay, just put half a cut of avocado, some protein powder, some dates, blend it all together in a cup and you have it. So this, whenever I have it, it takes me back there. So it's like my daily escape or my daily remembrance to my time at Vancouver. And then some of the other drinks that we've recently launched are the beetroot espresso tonic. It's quite this novel concept where I realized that the people who genuinely go for working out, they have just black coffee and they go. So that leaves them kind of acidic. And coffee is a diuretic where it dehydrates you. So we realized, how about we make a drink pairing of beetroot juice and coffee and top it up with some soda or some seltzer. So that's like a very hydrating drink, but it gives you caffeine also. So it's, again, that was like my launch, so I'm really attached to that drink. And we have other juices and smoothies, and our pastas are quite revered in the community at large because they're very wholesome and creamy. So when people are having like a tough day and they really want to spoil themselves, they don't want to think about the calories or what they're having. They just go for a bowl of pasta and like some thick shake, then they're kind of happy. Yeah.
I'm the junkie here, so I would like to add the jalapeno fried fritters. Like I've never had them anywhere. So I think what he and the cook, the chef, made this chili jalapeno fritters, and it's one of the best
dishes here.
For me, I'm a junkie. Like I can't have all avocado and everything. I need my pakoda kind of a food. So it's like the best. I love it, and I love the peri peri chicken pizza here.
Yeah.
I can eat a whole pizza. You give me the whole pizza, I can finish 1.5 of it. Because that's the best pizza I've ever eaten, the chicken peri peri one. And that's my favorite.
What are the favorites?
Here's chicken peri peri, chicken nuggets. I keep ordering.
Yeah.
And I am a complete junkie in the cafe. Like I'll eat every junk food available over here. But there's so much healthy to eat, so I try to escape my thing with the even the pasta, the Alfredo pasta. It's so yummy. It's got like so much of cheese and butter, and the garlic, parmesan cheese and everything. So
it's a very hearty meal, guys.
Hearty, soulful meal.
Yes.
Yeah, something you need for the Indian taste, Indian spices, because we are born in a culture where it's all tikha, chatpata and everything. Yeah. So you need it. If you're going out, you need to eat something that makes you feel at home. In the end of it, you want to feel at home. Basically, what we realized was, since we have a big space, we should also have expansive options in our menu. So to cater to basically people from all walks of life. Like if a family is coming in, so they have grandparents and they have children. So the grandparents should have something with their dietary needs, and the children should get something with chocolatey shakes and something with peri peri fries also, to keep them also content and happy.
So we realized, okay, and it's kind of like our namesake, it's YVR. So we have to cater to everybody,
Yeah.
You got to cater to the parents, the grandchildren, the children, the adolescents, the working people, the
Everyone.
professionals, the couples, the work from home guys, the teachers. So we just want to accommodate most of our menu where everybody has something to have here.
But even if we do junk food, I think so. We like our sauces and everything is all in house.
Made in house, yes, yeah.
It's very specific. Like we don't use something that's like today is the day. I would like to add this. I had the first time I tried the chicken fried. What
Yeah,
is it?
our new fried chicken burger.
Fried chicken burger.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just like. I just came from work and I was so exhausted. I wanted to eat something fried. So I'm like, I'm going to have the fried chicken burger. And it was one of the best burgers I ever tried because the sauce that the chef used was in-house. Again, it's tangy and it was like, it suited my palate. And then it's a fried chicken patty.
And then what we do with the burger patties also that we make them out of minced meat, minced chicken meat like minced. Then we make them, we keep them, we store them, we use them fresh every day. So it's not just one of those packaged patties that you get and people just fry it and then they'll put it onto a burger and send it out. So again, it just reroutes back to if people are eating, they should eat consciously and healthy. Healthy is like a giveaway, they may or may not, but they should at least be informed of what they're eating. Like I believe that is our onus towards people, like putting that onto the customer, telling them.
My thought, I'm a total junkie. So I try to incorporate his
way of eating
and everything. I have tried because previously when we were dating, I used to eat samosa, vada pav, bhajia, everything. So now I make sure at least my one meal is completely balanced. Like with I didn't even know what macros and micros were, So he gave me that knowledge, and then I was like, okay, let me incorporate these all things in my one meal. And then I would be like, then the second meal I'm like, chalta hai abhi, ho gaya aaj ke liye.
So most of the menu actually came from our own experience, like my entire family's experience of having traveled and what our personal likes were also. But at the same point of time, we did keep an eye out for what people wanted. So it's not just this is how we eat and we should put it, but we should also have a receptive ear to how people eat.
Also, when we started the cafe, I remember we still do as a family, we still do have a lot of tasting when we launch any product into the
Menu.
in the menu. I know I get a call from him and we're like, the full family is down, please come, we need to do the tastings, any product, and that keeps happening every 2-3 months. So we all are there to take a part in it, like that okay, does it match our taste, do we like it, shall we approve for this, and then we can go ahead with that. So it's like we approve. We also take customer feedback sometimes. Like we have regular people who keep coming in, So if you're launching like a dessert, like a small dessert, like a cupcake or a pastry or whatever, so we'll go to the regular people. Also, we like how Starbucks does that, the shots. But we would go personally approach them and be like, okay, you can give us a feedback.
Yeah, like, hey, this is something on the house. It's like a new food item or a new drink. You don't have to pay for it. Just have it. Let me know what you feel about it.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable in paying for something like this? Do you have any feedback on what we can add or what we can reduce? Like, make the coffee shots from 2 to 1. Like, add more sodas if necessary or pair with different food items. So unless we have a receptive ear towards them, we will never know where we're heading in a right direction or we're heading in a wrong direction. And it's a cafe, so if you're not receptive to your audience, then I think you cease to be a cafe. This is the reason why, I wanted to do this with you guys, because I saw that hospitality in your website, and I realized that there are now so many cafes and so many individuals which are opening up with the mindset of providing hospitality. Like usually in countries like Swiss is known for their level of hospitality. They're like, oh, let's enjoy the Swiss experience, the Alps and whatnot. But in our culture, in our tradition, it's ingrained in us. It's ingrained in how we host people in our houses. Atithi Devo Bhava. And that same mindset then most people bring into cafes, where what I've realized is as important as healthy, tasty food, reasonable pricing and all is, more important than that is how you make people feel.
Yeah.
Because that's all that they remember at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Nobody walks away, at least in my experience, like nobody's walked away from here saying ki they like this particular dish. People walk away saying ki I was made to feel really good. When I came in, I was attended very well. I was given the menu promptly. It's the entire experience. It's like from your sitting to your eating to your paying, your leaving, whether you're having a conversation with me or anybody else on board, that occasional free drink to get like a feedback of whether we should launch this. And I think that builds community because that's what has people remember, people buy. Then people are like, hey, this person came to my table, he explained what we were having, he explained the story behind this little place. And then he also asked us what we as people have eaten in other cafes and we'd like to see here and whether that can be incorporated. So that is something that holds very dear to me because for me it's like service is just an exchange. I ask you this, you give me this. Hospitality truly is how you make people feel when you're giving them something. And the reason it's so difficult is because the people giving hospitality also don't always have good days.
Yeah.
Where people do, the people working in so many cafes, right? But what sets them apart is every day they put that thought behind and they're like, okay, we have to put it out. We can't be irritable or tired or exhausted. We have to have a smile regardless whether it's a friend coming in or he's coming in with his family or with his girlfriend or whoever else. That same experience should go. That is something that I hold dear because it just stems from here for me.
You won't believe it, from the beginning. I would like to add this. When since we started it, it's been
a year and a half, almost 2 years, yeah.
Almost 2 years in December. And when we started it, he has been greeting every customer at the doorstep. Like it has been like I've had, because I've gained clients from here as well. So I've had people coming and telling me that your husband's one great quality in this cafe is that it's like you make us feel so welcome, so warm, and how you guys greet us and everything. And how does he do it? He really, like, every customer knows him regardless for that.
And I think that's important because that's how cultures are set. It's very easy to have teams, but the most difficult thing it is to have a culture. Like I see that same example in sports teams also. You look at an RCB. Look at their culture. You look at a Mumbai Indians, look at their culture. You look at other small startups. They have a very strong culture. And that culture only gets formed not by words of affirmation, ki aise kaam karna hai. It happens if someone's doing that on the floor every day and then it just comes downstream from them.
Yeah, right.
So I don't consider even anything that I do in the cafe to be, below me. That I'm like, if I'm the owner, it doesn't matter. If I have to attend a customer, I have to pick up vessels, I'm going to do it. Because for me, that's YVR. For me, it's not about, okay, people are coming in, they're shooting, no drinks, no nothing. They're people, man. It's not about, everything's not an exchange of just money. So I work my mind from that point of view, where it's like, guest is God and that's how we have to function here.
I think so every person in the service business is that, because you're giving in nothing, you're not giving in any product, you're giving in your service by the end of it. So every client, every guest is God for you. You have to make them feel right. I think there's no vision. We just do it every day.
That's a very correct answer. Yeah, I don't have one vision going forward because, to be honest, I feel different on a different day. But all that I focus upon is the fundamentals should be the same. Wherein you have to respect the people coming in because they're paying money. So if they're paying, they should get extremely high quality of ingredients, and the food, the drink should be made in that mind. So moving forward, I would say I expect this place to start shaping culture. I think in a lifespan of any food and beverage establishment, you start off with giving food and drinks because that's what you're known for. As the years go on by, and if you've stuck to your fundamentals, then you slowly start changing and shifting culture in terms of, like we recently hosted a run club. So they did activities over here and it was the perfect spot to host it because there's a park right here. So all the volunteers came in, they ran like 3 to 5 kilometers around the park. They came on in, they had like healthy or just food or drinks. Then we have comedy festivals. So we had like a comedy nights show over here with a local comic, and that was attended by a lot of the boomers. So a lot of the people aged 50 to 70. They came, they enjoyed wholesome, family-friendly comedy. And eventually I intend to have book clubs, writing clubs, FIFA nights or like music nights here. So slowly get people coming in, like, just get people coming in over the shared love of food and drinks, and then slowly start building communities around that. But the only way that happens is first if your quality and your food and drinks are really good. Then people come and they congregate, and then you have certain events around it. So I see us going forward as that cutesy neighborhood cafe, that was always shelved opposite to the park. So I feel that's like our future going forward, yeah. And if you ask me personally, this is what was built. The logo that we have outside there, that's YVR, that's an extension of the philosophy behind the cafe. And that philosophy came in attached to my own personal why. Yeah. So it's easy to work in any given place on a nice day where there's no problems and things are going fine and you have the materials and the staffing, no hygiene issues or ventilation. But when you have tough days, electricity isn't there or water shortage issues, just local normal issues, then if you have a strong why, you still persist. So for me, the cafe taught me, and I feel I taught the cafe, and I feel we both are growing. So I see the cafe evolve based upon how I evolve. And how I evolve is directly proportional to how the cafe evolves, because it's entrepreneurship. And finally, guys, I think this entire conversation happened about is because we connected with the Indian Hospitality magazine, and I was personally enthralled and just excited about doing this, because when I saw your reason onto your website of why we exist, I realized that these are also a group of people who are doing this not just for a payday, but who have a reason beyond a payday, which is to showcase how well-tied and close-knit hospitality is with the Indian culture and cafes in and around India. So one of the major reasons, if you want to get into hospitality, I would agree, is it's very, very hardworking, but it's extremely rewarding. The only reason it's hardworking is because you're dealing with a lot of variable factors. Like I mentioned, from hygiene and ventilation and food and drinks and service and just maintenance. But it's rewarding because when you see people walk out smiling, then you're like, okay, yeah, this is worth it. The only difficult part is you have to treat each day as it comes. So you can't look at it 6 months in a stretch. One day you'll fly high, you're like, oh my God, everything went well today. Orders were perfect, there was no lateness, people loved the food, there was no delays. And on another day, you're just firefighting. You're just like, okay, the pastas aren't boiled and the inventory hasn't come and the washroom is clogged up and the lights have gone. And then you're like, okay, it's a tough day today. I have to organize everything and I have to apologize and get the guests seated and then attend to them and then make sure nothing has happened and just move on.